So it seems like there's been even more news in the kind of VTuber sphere, and this time it's to do with something pretty crazy over on Twitter and someone getting pretty much like fully doxxed, which is terrible. And obviously this stuff has been happening over the past couple days, and essentially it all started off with this one tweet from someone called Skew-chan. I'm sorry if I pronounced that completely wrong. And obviously they say the amount of people in the comments who don't get that men want a natural cute loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Now this is in response to this clip, which says all men just have perverted fantasies, the average male fantasy, which is a clip from Josei Tiger and the Fish, which again is a film that came out I think a couple of years ago. I actually watched it in cinemas. It was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. It's obviously about this like disabled girl, and obviously this guy who's like a swimmer, and he obviously helps her out, takes her to places, helps her experience new things, etc. And obviously, yeah, it's like a good kind of like love story type thing going on. And people are saying, you know, this is the average male fantasy that people actually want. And all they're pretty much saying is they want someone who actually loves them and, you know, loves them for who they are and just like kind of does normal things, you know. And obviously in a world where there's so many people that just like want to be like stepped on and stuff, it's just like, you know, it's sometimes it goes a little bit too far. And we're just saying that sometimes a man wouldn't mind something like this. Now, obviously, a lot of people took to the comments and were not happy about this. People saying they called it an average male fantasy, but how is this average? I mean, again, this got 46 million views, by the way, this one clip. People said, I just want to be happy, always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. And then people saying pretty perverted. So they're saying it's pretty perverted to have someone always happy with you and always... Yeah, they just kind of they just listed like the three main things of a relationship: always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. I'm pretty sure that's like the three main pillars of a relationship. I'm gonna be honest, you know, you got to be vulnerable with them because again, you know, you're kind of opening yourself up to them. Always happy, again, you should always be happy, and always needs you. You know, that tends to be the case of a normal relationship. But hey, you know, people say weird since most men abandon their disabled or chronically ill spouses, which again, you know, was actually community noted, saying the claim most likely refers to the widely cited 2015 study that men are most likely to leave their disabled or chronically ill spouses, which obviously, yeah, it says this was retracted due to a coding error. So it was essentially wrong. They're saying feminists are such miserable cute creatures. Male fantasy equals a woman who can't run away from him. So they kind of turned it on this thing of like a disabled thing. I think the main point they're just trying to get across here was the fact that they're just having a good time. Like, I mean, this clip here, you can see it's just them having a nice time, him building some stuff for her, and them just going out and having a nice time in general. And I think that, you know, I think that's the main point that they're trying to take across here, just having a loving girlfriend, like regardless of the wheelchair or not, regardless of pretty much anything. It's just like, you know, the point they're trying to get across is they were having a good time, they were all happy, anything like that. But where does this actually go into doxing? Well, essentially, yeah, this person made this tweet, but also Kitsunero, whose account is actually gone. I didn't even know that. Okay, that's crazy. Essentially, they put out this tweet saying men deserve to be loved and treated right. That's crazy, by the way. I think that literally just went down. Anyways, they say, I genuinely didn't expect this to blow up as much as it did, and I also didn't expect all the positivity in the comments. It's so heartwarming. I'm reading through the comments, and it's making me smile. Glad the negativity hasn't found this post yet, and, well, it did find this post. And obviously, it got 8.4 million views, 109,000 likes, you know, and all she said was men deserve to be loved, which I think, you know, isn't much of a controversial opinion. I think everybody deserves to be loved and treated right, you know, and I think, including men, and obviously they put that in response to a lot of the stuff that has been going on. And yeah, they actually put out another kind of tweet here saying, well, the cat's out of the bag, and a lot of you have seen by now, I've been doxxed. Authorities have already been informed, and you know why I've been doxxed? Because I dared to say that I supported men. If you see it, kindly report the post, thank you. Which again, is absolutely crazy, and they say, okay, I legit had to, had some people come at me and be like, how can you get doxxed when you posted your face yourself? There's more than just faces in regards to personal information, which again is true. You know, I don't know why people are just like, oh wait, but like, how can you say you've been doxxed? It's only your face. I feel like there is way more to it. I haven't seen the original post or anything like that. So again, I'm guessing they doxed even more information, which is terrible. Obviously, Chibi Reviews, who's had quite a lot of experience with this kind of stuff, saying, if I see it, I'll report it. Stay safe, Kitsu. They're saying, thank you, Chibi. They're saying, I'm sorry, I hope this all gets handled soon with a headache. So authorities have already been informed. Wait, so you can actually get arrested for being pro-men in Germany. I guess the socialists wound up winning after all. They said, I reported them for doxing, which again, it's so dumb. It's like, oh, you know, you reported them for the police for being pro-men. It's like, okay. All right, okay. So wait, was it someone with an Ultron profile picture? So again, I think it was like one person that actually did it over on Twitter. Now, if I try to go to the account again, okay, the account is up. That's fine. I don't know why it said this account does not exist whenever I tried to bring it up the first time. But essentially, yeah, Asmongold's covered this. Hero Hayes also covered this. So it's been really good in terms of the support that she's been getting from this situation, because it's pretty terrible, you know, especially, you know, for saying something as tame as saying something like, I support men. You know, just supporting men apparently is one of the most controversial opinions that you can have online at the moment, because men are not liked. And, you know, obviously it's pretty terrible to actually kind of admit that, you know, it's terrible to admit the fact that, you know, so many people will go as too far as to dox you just because you like a certain gender or just because you like a certain sex, right? Either one, you know, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it seems like the support has been pretty good. Obviously, you've got like Yeet and Mugen following them, so obviously they do cover a lot of stuff. I think they do cover a lot of like controversial stuff in the community, like as in like drama and news, things like that. A little bit similar to me, which obviously is a little bit controversial as a VTuber and in the VTuber community, but I do respect it heavily because, again, there should be more people kind of talking about this stuff. And, you know, from what I've seen of Kitsu, I think, you know, she seems like a pretty good content creator. So I definitely recommend checking it out and go and check in what her stream's all about, what her videos are all about, because, again, it seems like they do cover some pretty similar stuff. And obviously, yeah, I don't know how it has, you know, managed to turn into such a big situation like this over something so tiny, and how people have actually been, you know, kind of getting so mad at such a simple post. You know, it all started from this 46 million view post of people saying that people were perverted for wanting to have a disabled girlfriend or whatever. You know, it's funny as well, because obviously we looked at that post, obviously talking about the fact that, oh, most men leave disabled and chronically ill spouses or whatever as soon as it happens, you know. And then on the other hand, it's people like, oh, you're perverted for liking that. It's like, brother, like which one do you want? Like, make up your mind of which one you want. But either way, I don't think they were even referring, as I said, to the whole chronic illness thing, to the whole disabled thing. They were more referring to the fact that, you know, it's just a loving girlfriend, which I think is pretty much the entirety of, you know, at least the straight male kind of population, what they just want. Which I think, you know, is it that much hard to ask for? I don't know. Maybe Twitter thinks differently. But obviously, Kitsu thinks differently too. People say, it breaks my heart knowing people will send vile hatred your way over this. It's got 5.6 thousand likes, which is crazy. You know, they're saying people are going to see this and send you death threats. I fear for you. They say whatever they're going to send is nothing. I've heard it before, so I don't care. You know, obviously, let's keep going though. Every feminist is saying, who starts a conversation like that? I hate feminists, to be honest. Everyone loved that. Someone said, oh, shut up. Interaction bait, nobody cares. Obviously, McNasty here even getting involved, saying absolutely, which again is crazy. And so, yeah, it seems like this has gained a lot of attention from a lot of people. And it is terrible to see that this kind of stuff has been happened. Obviously, yeah, the authorities have been informed. So I hope that the authorities can deal with this. And I hope that like people like Asmongold and that can back her up and support her in any way as well, however they can. Because, again, it's terrible. You shouldn't be doxxed for just having an opinion over on Twitter. You shouldn't be doxxed in any kind of format, to be honest. And, you know, I'm guessing there's been a lot of other worse things that have been happening behind the scenes as well. For example, in the DMs and in the message requests, which could be even worse. But, hey, you know, I don't know. It's just one of those situations where sometimes, you know, you just have a controversial, in quotation marks, opinion on Twitter. It shouldn't be controversial, but for some reason, some people find it is. And they end up doing stuff like this, which is absolutely horrible. And I hope whoever did this gets caught and that the authorities deal with them appropriately. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that, you know, Kitsu had a controversial opinion here in saying that men deserve to be loved and, you know, wanted? Again, I don't think, you know, that was much of a controversial opinion. But hey, you know, yeah, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.